Remix. 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 Remix.
Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ears Out to come to bring some of that boom back purpose. Yes, us, not just me, holding the D straight from the DMV. As you can see, he goes by the name of Evan. I didn't think quick enough to get something to rhyme. My bad. I'm still,
Next time. There's always next time, right?
Yeah, it is. We'll be here next week. We'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow. The day after that,
Yeah.
I got time to get it right. It was good. What's good, man?
I'm good. Here, Doctor. How you feeling?
I'm tired. Was up late watching Euphoria last episode.
Euphoria.
Utopia? Oh. What is it? Utopia? Euphoria?
It's definitely Euphoria. That's funny.
Yo, that is a wild show right there, boy. A wild show.
I have not seen it. I've only heard about it, but it is.
They talk about it. Yeah.
They talk about it. I think the closest in that realm I got to was Industry, which
Industry was wild.
I just call Sex Bank. That's my name for it.
That's pretty much it. This is like every other scene, somebody, sniffing some coke or doing something, and
I was like, this is nuts, man.
Yeah. But other than that, good weekend. I'm here. So what about you? I don't even remember what happened this weekend. It's all a blur.
Give me like one event. Did you DJ? I'm assuming at some point.
What was it? What was this weekend? I don't remember, man. I really don't. I got brain cloud. What about you?
It's all good. Man, it was a busy weekend. Friday we BAP hosted 2 Black at Sankofa.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, had a discussion about his book Laundering Black Rage, him and Rasul Mawat's book Laundering Black Rage. And it was really dope, man. Shout out to the BAP DC programs team. Shout out to the Solidarity Network that helped with the developing of those questions. Big shout out to the Sankofa family for letting us host there and being such an awesome space for those types of conversations. 2 Black, got to have dinner with him afterward, rap with him some more afterwards. So it was really dope. It was a really dope event. Really, really cool to spend some time with the comrade. And I mean his book is really incredible. It's really incredible, I think. And was very glad to bring that to the people, try to break it down for people.
Is 2 Black always serious?
No, he's not, but he has that he has that demeanor, you know what I'm saying? That he's very I guess he feels understated as a person. You know what I'm saying?
He's he's gonna be like, my brother, I don't feel is black enough. So
nah, man, he be cracking jokes. He's funny. He's funny as shit. Because he's just chill. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
What he do is like that. The name will be intimidating to some people. 2.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know him and you just heard his name, up on you. He's big as shit too. He's bigger than, he's taller than me. He's big, you know what I'm saying?
We did the conference together, man. I was like, God damn. I was like, let me watch my words coming.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Nah, man, shout out to Black. That was it was dope hosting him. And then he is tall, Leah. He is tall. Tall and big, right? There's some tall people that are tall and skinny. My man is tall and built.
So we got a pretty good show today coming up. We got some guests coming at the top of the hour, as you can see. Who was our guest again?
Do you want me to say it? You want me to type it to you? You want me to say it?
I believe I made. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me who our guest is.
We have Brian Kolba talking about
Yes,
his book
yes.
and talking about the Hubert Harrison book. Yeah,
that should be good.
Don't worry, everybody. Renee will be back by then, so we'll have a good interview with the doctor.
Yeah. I put the wrong thumbnail thing up, but
yeah.
Still up here trying to remember what happened this weekend. Anything happened in the world other than I see? We do have footage of the Asada homegoing, so big up for that footage. Y'all can check that out right here on Black Liberation Media.
Yeah,
I seen it was a bunch of different speakers, performers. Mark Lamont Hill. I seen Moo Fresh was performing with Common Sense.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So that's dope. Check it out right here on Black Liberation Media. Other than that, it's hot in here. I think my AC unit done went out.
Oh man.
I just had to get my electric done in my kitchen. So I think I didn't do much because I had to spend money this weekend. I think that's what happened.
That's right. How hot is it down there right now?
Well, I got weather I'm going to be doing that in a minute, but today's high in Atlanta, I give you a sneak.
Give me a sneak peek.
Yeah, it's 80 degrees today. So
that's too hot to not have air conditioning. I'm sorry, bro.
What are you telling? I mean, I got some fans and some windows I could open up, so we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Something's wrong if you start to get too shiny over there.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm already like moving in slow motion.
Right, yeah, take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, what else happened? Oh, I got to go train. That was the other big thing that happened.
Okay, what kind of training? The MMA?
Well, yeah, not MMA, but we were just doing Muay Thai training. So got to go. I haven't been training in years. So was able to go to the gym I mentioned earlier, High Style, and go to the actual Muay Thai class. So that was dope. There was like 2 guys that I was able to spar with and move around with. So that was cool. Yeah.
So how do you know how much do you know how to hold back when you're sparring with somebody? Like,
oh yeah, I mean that experience for one. But 2, I think once you get into honestly, there are different philosophies around it. Let me start there. So like there's some, if you go to Thailand or if you are being instructed by like a Thai coach, there is a very like rich culture of light sparring, very technical sparring. So like I'm not gonna do it now, but we can find videos, right, of people who are really looking for openings, right? Really doing it at maybe like a higher speed, but it's when they land, it's very soft, right? It's very technical. They're able to reset, and everybody's able to work, right? Like if I'm like trying to beat your brains out, like you're not going to be thinking about counters and like movement, all these things. When you go slow, when you like not so slow, but when you go light like that, you're able to kind of see the block, right? Like get a little work in and actually like develop your thought process around how you move. There are other, and that has that in and of itself is like incredibly useful in terms of like a development of a fighter. And there are other kind of philosophies, right? Like you go to like maybe like a Dutch gym, maybe like Mike's gym. Those fools spar like they're fighting. You know what I mean?
Hoot. No, that's good in Dutch. Go ahead.
That's good in Dutch. I don't know any Dutch. That's okay.
Yeah, no. Hoot. Good. I could keep it going, but
look at you. Don't do too much on them. Don't do too much on them.
I'll be. I might not know a lot of English, but I know some other things. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I know different colonizers' languages.
But yeah, all that to say that like that philosophy is much more about hard sparring in the gym, right? So you're not going to have a fight that's going to really surprise you necessarily in terms of intensity because you've done that in the gym. The downside of that is that you can develop a lot of CTE in the gym that maybe is unnecessary and you don't have as long of a life as a fighter. But there are a lot of Dutch fighters that like have been competing for a long time. So, you know,
I bet people like you just go to bars and just can't wait for somebody to start some stuff just so you can. I mean, because when else did you get to use it? I guess that's like cops
in the gym. I mean, that's the thing though. Like when I was actually training, when I was like competing, and I was in the gym, you know, 5 times a week, you know, 6 times a week. Like I'm too tired when I'm outside the gym to do anything else. And the other thing I always tell people is like training and doing like extensive martial arts training has taught me, if nothing else, you don't know what people know. You don't know what people know. Like I've seen people very unassuming, skinny, maybe short people that are
do some judo and wrap your ass up
and will put you on the cement, you know what I'm saying, on the asphalt before you know what's going. So like it's if anything, it's more like, you know, a healthy kind of understanding of like what is possible, and also just how bad it can go, right? Like somebody doesn't have to be good to hit you with an overhand right, and then
I would be on some superhero shit if I was like that. I would really just go to like places and just wait for some shit to go down just so I could test all my moves. You know what I mean?
Just wait in the alley, just like, oh,
the cigarette, just leaning against the wall, just waiting for some shit to happen. I mean, I go to a bar and just start bar fights and just be like, oh yeah, let me see if I can work this move out.
You've seen these people. There are people
that do that shit.
They actually dress up and go out and like do crime watch and stuff like that. Is
because that's like, I don't understand weightlifting. Like, I'm like, yo, why are you getting so big? Who are you gonna fight or beat up? Like, just getting that big. And it's like, I guess that's like if you go in the weight room and you do all this weightlifting, you want to use it on somebody, just like a cop do all this training. Guess what they want to do? They want to finally use it on somebody. So that's why they come and fuck with us.
Well, yeah, because they're bullies and predators and all of the rest. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody like an actual martial artist is not out here.
Y'all defenders of the.
I mean, yeah, you know, like I didn't. Yeah, like, one of the first things I learned as a martial artist was like, you're learning this to protect yourself and to protect the people you care about.
Well,
it is not to be looking for some nonsense. You know, that's just.
I tell you who else is a defender of the people? Renee Johnson. Renee,
sorry,
Saturday to the day. Well, don't come on here with that. Sorry, don't you gotta say it.
Is my sounds good?
Sound great.
Coming through nice.
I found a little shopping center in the parking lot.
Yo, I'm just imagining somebody coming through and see you with the headphones and the computer.
Well, it ain't nothing like ladies showing up at a certain time, like Kim Brown.
Hey, it's Kim.
Hey, good morning, gang. Good morning.
Fashionably late.
Morning, beautiful.
And I mean fashionably.
There you go. She's super fashionable. Let them know, Kim.
Kim is thinking I'm taking some type of shot, but I like how the polo matches the hat, the little polo person. I'm peeping style. I can't see Renee, so shit. What am I gonna say to her? I like your silhouette again.
Renee's hilarious. I found a story months back about how there's a town in New Jersey called Crane. Is it Crane, New Jersey, Renee? And apparently they have a long history of not wanting black people over there. I said, Renee, you ever heard of this town? Clark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And Renee was like, yeah, I heard about Clark. That's where I go to the Whole Foods. I said, look at Renee antagonizing the whites. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Yo, for real. I hope she's at the biggest like shopping center possible. So people are walking past and maybe we can just see
the best is I'm in Whole Foods with my Israel is a settler colony sweatshirt.
I'm sure that's going over great in Clark, New Jersey this morning.
Hey, it's going over
swimmingly.
But you know what? No one has ever said a word to me. Ever. I wear my keffiyeh in there. If it's hot, now that I got a little, it's actually a handkerchief, right? Like it's a small keffiyeh. So I wrap it around the bag, and then it's like on the cart.
Renee's daring,
man. Yeah, I'm
daring the motherfucker to say, I dare y'all to say something. I dare somebody to say something.
You know, with all due respect, I just don't imagine, Renee, that you have the energy, you know what I'm saying, as you're walking around, that somebody would want to just like, let me go mess with that person. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like, I feel like somebody might see you and be like, you know what? Not that one. Not that
You
one.
know what? It is very, I'm going to say highly plausible that at my size, that people would think twice about being like, yeah.
But you tall and slim. You don't give me sturdy. You know, you're
Oh
not.
no, I'm tall and sturdy.
250 out here.
Yeah,
you
she's
know
tall
what I'm
and
saying?
sturdy.
I'm tall and sturdy.
Tall and
not,
sturdy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, she got like big ankles. Hey, big up to Leia Boggs. She said you could check out Renee on Brokish. No silhouette.
Hey,
oh, shout out to you. I saw that episode. Shout out to you, Renee. It was a dope guest appearance.
It would have been weird to do. It would have been weird because of the way the screen is with the three. It would have been weird. I was like, it's gonna be so weird to have the hat, like the slender version of the silhouette. It's just gonna be weird. So we just gonna roll with it.
So one day we'll get that same over here.
Man, listen, look.
Kim wants to know. This ain't even me.
You have to explain the difference between remaining cloaked on the morning show and then cloaking on Broken.
Like one episode with them where we talked about a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's anything that could turn around and get me in any kind of issue, you know, over the next little bit of time that I'm dealing with this stuff. I think is once in a while is okay. Obviously, we did the live, we do the book talks, those are all recorded. So all that stuff, right? But that said, for me to be on camera for remix,
how much donation?
I couldn't do it.
How much
I'm in the car. How do you how would I do that in the car?
Like physically.
How much they got to donate to see you on screen on the Remix Morning Show? Right
Excellent question.
How much do you have to donate to get that car view of you?
Yeah,
my profile as I'm driving.
right. But money ain't a thing. How much we need to get Renee on screen, y'all?
10 G's. Renee said 10. Oh, 10 racks on it.
Come on now, stop playing. You see what these hosts are going through just to give y'all great news and information and stuff like this. So please donate. Continue, Kim. My bad.
Yes, no, I was just gonna make a call out, a plea to whoever robbed that Brinks truck in Philly a couple weeks ago. $1.8 million. $1.8 million. Y'all got 10 racks for your liberation, homies.
They was on a Cool C Steady B shit, huh? Let me find out. Wow. You don't know who that is, do you, Evan?
I don't. But Philly. I was going to shout out to 2 Black because that example that Kim just shared, hypothetically, intellectually, would be reverse laundering for liberation. Just so you know, shout out to 2 Black. You know what I'm saying? If that were to happen, hypothetically.
Hypothetically,
of course. Now we know. Always good to have examples.
And knowing is half the battle.
There you go. The more you know, the rainbow just shooting over.
So
Did I see they're doing a Masters of the Universe movie?
Yes, I'm taking my kids this weekend.
They are, and
Who's He-Man and who is she? Who is Skeletor? I need to know the cast.
Skeletor is not a real person; it's AI.
Well,
He-Man is what?
Not AI.
You talk not well. The voice is somebody, but
yeah. But like CGI.
CGI AI. It's initials.
Okay.
But
who's He-Man? Is it
I don't know the actor. A guy I recognize.
What's one of them big Australians brothers?
It's a new guy on the scene.
You would think, but that's not.
What's their name, Evan?
I'm gonna find out.
Big buff Australians. It's 2 of them.
You talking about Wolverine?
Worth brothers.
Nigga, I said Australia. Is that nigga Australian?
Yeah, ain't dude Hugh Jackman, ain't he Australian?
Yeah. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about a blonde.
I think you're talking about the Hemsworth brothers.
Hemsworth. Yes. There we go. It's not one of them. One of them's not He-Man.
They're Australian.
They're Aussies?
Are they really? That is news.
Yeah, they definitely are. They definitely are.
That's funny. I had no
idea. It's this dude Nicholas Galatzine.
Yeah, he's a new dude.
Is he a Zionist? Then I can't support it.
I mean,
there you go.
Hey, you want to flip a coin? You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, speaking of Zionists, Evan, they killed off that one dude on Boys that you said was a Zionist that you wouldn't watch. So now you can watch it.
No, I haven't been watching it. I've been following the recaps, so I don't watch the thing. But I did know that happened.
Yeah.
Do we know why? Was it because he was getting
because of him being a
back, or
in real life? No, of course not. It was made him sympathetic in the show, and it was like motivating for all the other characters. So no, it was not. There was no connection to the.
So it's like the chick, the Wonder Woman chick, who keeps crying because she's so upset that people are mad that she's a Zionist.
Straight up. Honestly,
okay.
She is worse. She's
brutal. She's brutal. The minute she said the words, "I'm 7th generation Israel," and I was like,
"You're who? The
7th generation? What are you talking?"
Hilarious. People. She might just be worse just because she's more famous and has bigger roles. I don't, he obviously is a,
All right. Well, let's go ahead and they said we don't do enough news, so we gotta give them some news, y'all. Damn, Jay-Z brought out the afro, got his hair combed out for 2 days.
First off,
the locks.
So can we just? The only thing I want to know is, are we now all on the same page that those locks are fake? Like, is that?
No, those wasn't fake locks. You could get your locks. You could get your locks combed out. It took 2 days to get it done, but yeah, you get your locks combed out. You thought that was fake? Well, y'all just be trying to take shots at people for no fucking reason.
So those are just combed out locks, and that length of his hair, the afro, is the same length when you put it.
You could do that. That's what. Yeah, especially when you got to talk to different people that do hair. But yeah, you could. That's all real.
Kim, Renee, can y'all?
What?
I haven't seen any pictures. So I guess I should go find a picture and see.
Have you heard the freestyle, Renee? Did you hear
No.
Did you hear his freestyle?
Here you go, Renee. No. Here you go, Renee. There you
like
go.
This you
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You look like
go play the freestyle.
Nah, I ain't gonna get to that. We're gonna probably do that on Thursday for Thursday.
But if you do that, you're gonna get copyrighted. So
how are you gonna get copywritten? Is somebody recording
it's open mic?
Yeah,
it's like open mic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
At the Roots picnic over the weekend.
Yeah, he took shots at everybody after he said battle rap. It ain't it.
I thought you was gonna harp on the fact that he said Chatty Patty.
Chatty Patty. He's talking about Dave Des.
Watch the morning show. The only second time I've ever heard Chatty Patty is from Jay-Z. The first time I heard it was from you.
I'm telling you, Dave Des. I heard him say that shit. I started cracking up. I was like, oh shit. He talk about Dave Des, teeth falling out his mouth. Yeah, he went in on that freestyle. He got that Drake.
I'll only add in Ear Doctor's defense, you can comb out locks because it's a whole. I mean, it is just your hair. It's just it takes a long time. But
I know it's technically possible, Renee.
I also concur that I do not believe I don't believe anything that's associated with this dude. So like, could it be his hair? It could be. Could it just be another wig? It could be. It could be a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? In the end, though, who cares?
Who cares? Like, really? Like, who cares if it's real or not? He got up there. He showed motherfuckers how that he's still one of the best lyricists. And yeah. But anyway, other than that, yeah, big up to the Roots picnic. I heard it went good this time. Had a bunch of dope people performing. So big up to Philly. So,
always.
All right. Let's go ahead and take our first break, and then we're gonna come back right here with some more of the Remix Morning Show. Let's do it like that. All right. Remix on the remix.
Don't know what y'all been told, but I gotta keep me a big bankroll. yes, a fake bag of that sticky and some back. And when I step out on the scene, suckers already know. Start talking about my clothes. You see I'm pimped out. Come try to knock me for my go real. So I ain't gon' buy them Eddie Ghosts. I ain't gon' trick out with that. And I ain't gon' hang around my clothes. Come and get money. So I kick some nose, hit the block like the sun, and get rid of all the snow. You can call me a Don, cause of the way I flow. I'm a good role model, just look at me as a pro. Gangsta gotta raise me, so it's gutter till I die. No suckers hate me, you can see it in their eye. When I come around, they frown, they wanna let me down. And when I leave, them talk about me like a clown, but I ain't gon' give up. No, I ain't gon' let up. No, I ain't gon' shut up. And they gon' never let them ain't get to me. No, they'll never get to me.
All right, let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year 2009. We talk about with DJ Yola. DG Yola, my bad. I'm so used to DJing. Off the album I'm a Dog, the name of that song is I Ain't Gonna Let Up. On the SP beat. Let's go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com. Become a member over there. Get footage that's rare. Donate where? At blkliberationmedia.org. Go over there and get you some fresh gear. Get fly for the summertime. Get you a dope shirt. We got some new products coming out, so get ready for that. All right, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. All right. I ain't gonna let up. A Southern classic right there. A Southern classic. Speaking of classical breakdown, big up to all y'all that tuned in to Classical Breakdown last Thursday. Me and Kim rocked out on Heavy D. And it was actually his birthday around that time too, which I didn't even realize, but that was very fun. So go check that out, y'all.
Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ear doctor, you need to get yourself together. Go and give your brain a bath. Go to church. Start listening. Get on the right path. You study long, you study wrong. You get it in, you get gone. You live fake, you die fake. And that's just the way it goes. I'm a gangster young nigga, so I keep my mouth closed, my ears and eyes open, so I can focus on the shit around me. I know they gonna down me, but all I'm trying to fuck do they come around
me? What? Bars.
Stay down.
Now listen, that's called my boy. You know nothing about that.
Right.
Go to church, get your brain a bath. Excellent advice.
So if y'all want to see more like that classical breakdown, y'all.
What are we doing Thursday? Did we decide? I'm sorry, I didn't see your text until late.
Oh, thanks. Anyway, we haven't decided. We was talking about doing part 2, but of Stevie's pen, but we'll figure something out. Anyway,
okay.
Thursday, come around, y'all. All right, let me get out of here.
Thanks to all of the Classical Breakdown supporters, remixers. We appreciate you. Ear Doctor 2, step us into the news, please, and thank you.
Let's go.
Good morning and welcome. Remix Morning Show Tuesday edition. Look at the slate. Look at the slate. Look at the slate. Well, it's 2 slates in a black square, but we'll take it.
I mean, it's a little more. It's a little more. That's true. If you can, it's a little more. I mean, if you look real hard, you can kind of see my little graphic in there. I know, Kim, that I know, but it's
I'm looking hard, Renee. I'm looking.
Like it is not all black. Like if you look at it, it is. You can see the detail of that little, drawing.
You gotta look real. You gotta squint and look real hard.
Radiant shades of gray. Well, that's Renee Johnston keeping it in the closet like a Michael Jackson song. We love it. Evans with a Z on the end. I'm Kim. We got Ear Doctor in the cut. We got the remixers in the chat. Thank you all so much for being here, remixers. Good morning. Please like the video, share the stream and the stream, and you can subscribe to the channel if you want to support us. BLKLiberationMedia.org. As my bruv just told y'all, we got some gear. Summertime, y'all. Shout out to the Geminis. It's the 2nd of June. It's Gemini season. Hide your kids, hide your wife. Okay, the Geminis are on the loose, so be careful. they like
I
to
don't know
talk
nothing about
about your
zodiacs,
underwear.
but I've not heard the zodiac introduced like that. Hide your
Are you
people.
a Gemini, Evan? Because I'm telling you, Geminis are astute speakers. They are excellent conversationalists. They are very adaptable. They are air sign. They can go anywhere, move it. But the problem with the Geminis is that there is 2 of them. It's definitely 2. So don't cross that bad one because that nigga is you don't want to fuck with the bad side of the Gemini. But the good Gemini, oh, good as gold. Nothing beats them.
I'll keep it in mind, Kim. I'll keep it in mind.
Are you a Gemini, Evan?
No. I'm a Capricorn.
Capricorn. Anyway.
So, which means all the things. I'm sure you tell me what. I don't know.
Well, when we get to Capricorn season, we'll discuss it.
Okay.
But we're going to let the Geminis have their moment.
Yeah. I don't want to intrude. That's fair. It's
been a cold spring, so I know the Geminis are happy that the sun is out. Sun's out, guns out. Anyway, the guns are definitely out in America, and that's not referencing anything specific, just generally. the guns are out. So where would you guys perpetually? Where would y'all like to start? Where can we begin? Let's throw a dart at the globe.
What about Newark?
Yes, that's an excellent place to start. So, as you guys have likely heard, as Renee shared with us over the past couple of weeks, that there have been a number of protests outside of the Delaney Hall ICE detention facility. Is that a core civic or is that Geo Group, Renee?
I believe it's core civic, but
CC.
I should probably double check before I say that out loud.
I feel like core civic is a abbreviation for concentration camp, right? Like, concentration camp. Oh,
I feel like if we dig far enough, you're gonna find out they're all like owned by the same people anyway, or funded by the same people. All right, somebody's saying it's Geo Group actually. So yeah, that's all I was guessing. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, Geo Group.
Pick your poison.
I should have known the chat was gonna get there before I did. I don't know why about that.
So Renee, help me out here because I saw it was Newark police up there knocking niggas. I saw ICE obviously up there beating up people, and then here come the New Jersey State Troopers. But I was confused because I saw that nice white lady Democratic governor of yours named Mikey. Said, who the fuck named this bitch Mikey? But anyway, so she is like, yeah, we're here for the protesters, but state troopers get out there and knock some niggas' heads if it requires it. So the Democrats are doing what they normally do. We're out here for the people, except when y'all disobey orders, and then it's time for law and order. Renee, what's the latest from Delaney Hall?
I mean, the latest is there's a curfew now. There was a dust up there last night at the curfew, if I caught it correctly. The curfew has been put in place by Mayor Ross Baraka. The state troopers who were out there were indeed put out there by Mike Sherrill, the current governor, who just won her election. She just got sworn in earlier this year. Her claim was that the state police were there because it was becoming unsafe, and there needed to be a safe space for protesting, was the claim. But the state troopers had already met with the ICE and Delaney folks, and they were working together with them basically to prevent the protesters from actually, protesting the facility. They tore down a tent that has been up, I mean, it's got to be close to a year that tent's been up, that they were using to provide resources to families that were coming to visit the folks who were being held in Delaney Hall.
Is this the humanitarian tent, Renee?
Yes, it was. Yep. It's It's actually a multi-group coalition of folks that are out there, and they rotate who runs the tent. It's like Cosecha. I know CMB goes out there. I know Lily from Green Party goes out there along with Barry. So there's like there's a rotation of groups and people who have been going out and making sure that the tent always has what it needs for the families that are coming in. They put these really weird and like stringent laws in place for what people could wear. And so they were like giving clothes to family members so that they wouldn't be blocked from entering the facility. They were giving out food because obviously a lot of these people who are being held at Delaney are in for some families the breadwinner of the family. They are the person who is there. So you have family now without someone who is providing the basic necessities. But Delaney Hall itself, where Delaney Hall is in that area of Newark, is close to a lot of a lot of like facilities for waste, for sanitation.
Industrial area.
Yeah, it's an industrial area. So the smell is not great. The air is a mess. And in fact, that building, if I remember correctly, used to be a psychiatric hospital. And they had to close it because the environment around the building was so bad that it was actually detrimental to the patients. So they closed it, and then they proceeded to sell it to be used for this purpose.
Right.
And so right now, the last headline that I saw was that Ross Baraka is going to try and shut Delaney. He wants to see Delaney Hall gone from Newark. Okay. Like,
sounds good.
Sure. It sounds great.
It sounds
great, but so we'll see.
So, but my understanding is that these latest round of protests were sparked by a hunger strike that is happening inside amongst the detainees who are rightfully complaining about the quality of care they're receiving, ranging from everything. And labor, right? Worms in the food, no medical care, and the labor that they are forced to do only earns them what? $1 a day. So they're on a hunger strike and a labor strike. And I think that Delaney Hall might be where this hunger strike has originated. But from what I understand, there's a number of ICE detention facilities in which the detainees are also doing hunger strikes as well. So this seems to be something that's growing. Let's hope.
Yeah, all I saw was that I almost said all I saw was that state official talk about how they were going to force feed them, which was incredibly violent and painful process for those who are not aware. And I want to say they were talking about it on Monday, but yeah.
What's the even logistic? I'm sorry, you're going to force insert feeding to, like, what are you talking about? We're going to force feed. What? Anyway, I'm sorry. I cannot lack imagination when it comes to the devil. Okay. The devil will find new ways to be devilish. So now what? I mean, so we have is it a standoff, Renee, between the Democratic leaders, the Democratic governor and Democratic Mayor Ross Baraka versus the Trump administration? Like, what are we doing here? I know it's a legitimate
they don't
something.
Know they don't know what they're doing either. And no, the Democratic mayor, Democratic governor, alongside of the Newark Police Department, the New Jersey State Troopers, the GEO Group, Department of Homeland Security, ICE agents, whatever those people are, because we just pulling people off the street and giving them money to call themselves ICE agents, are all working together against the people. They're all working together, because none of this in the end, it is going to take a real push from the people of Newark and of New Jersey for this to have any positive impact on the people of New Jersey, right? And so it's not going to be like, it's literally not going to be about, okay, so how do we, one, shut the facility down, two, release these people back to their families, because as we've learned over these years, it's like 90% of people that they're pulling off the street have no criminal record, have no issue. They're all going through the process of trying to gain citizenship. And they're just getting pulled off the street so that these private facility owners can make the money off of filling the beds with people. And so none of them are actually interested in fixing the problem, which is you already have this outrageous system in place to force people to document themselves, to live within these fake borders. And if you don't have that system, then all of the rest of it is irrelevant, right? Then you don't have private prisons. You don't have people like, going before judges and courts and paying thousands of dollars for legal representation just to live and breathe, like within a border, right? So at the end, all of these people are really working together in order to present this face as if they're fighting against the current administration, but they're all working together with the administration against the people.
Right.
So,
hey, Evan. I'm sorry, I don't know why I just designated you to do this. Can you Google Montgomery County passes ICE detention permit ban? That's Maryland, by the way. And is this a solution, chat and esteemed faces on the screen? Well, one face in a black square. I'm curious why Mikey Cheryl, and I know that's maybe not in her purview, but just going in this direction, Roz Baraka, what's up with the permits, dog? Snatch them permits. This building cannot be designated for this use.
And so when the whole fake arrest of Ross Baraka happened, that was the whole thing, right? Was like he was going to, to make sure that there was somebody who had gone in and done the permits and like all of that is nonsense, because like the facility, if you live anywhere where the city decides they don't want you to live, they just take your house.
Right.
Right? Like literally, they just take your house and say you can't live here anymore. So this idea that like, oh, well, we couldn't stop them is all nonsense, because you stop poor people all the time from living and breathing in the places where they want to live and breathe. So stop.
Right.
Two,
No, go ahead, Renee. Go ahead. Sorry.
Just real quick, people should be reminded that Delaney Hall is very, I think less than 12 miles away from the facility in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which has also been open for years, which also is detaining hundreds of people, which the Biden administration sided with the coercive group against the state of New Jersey to keep the facility open. So like, so Delaney Hall is getting all this attention right now, and it's not even the only one. So I just wanted to make sure people were clear about that.
Wait, so you're saying, Renee, if we have a Democrat in office, they're not all going to go away? Is that is that not what's happening? I also thought the state police were going to come protect the people from the ICE, because we were bringing them in to protect us from that's not happening either, apparently. So I don't know, man. Just keep getting it confused.
Freedom of speech.
Sorry. So Montgomery County, Maryland passed the ICE Out Act, officially barring privately owned immigration detention centers from operating in the country. Legislation prevents the department of permitting services from issuing building or use and occupancy permits for these facilities. The ban is part of a larger legislative package signed into law on June 1st of this year, aimed at limiting the role of local agencies in federal immigration enforcement.
My question to y'all is does this do something? Is this actually a something? As much as we are not going to see local police dispatched to protect people and protesters and, you know, people that are here in this country and have every right to be in here in this country. We're not going to see the police dispatched to do that. If the governance can push the papers around the desk, as I like to call it, is that the something that they are actually able to do? Is this a legitimate speed bump? I can't even call it a block. It's not a wall, but it's it just slows up the administration a tiny bit. Is this what we expect them to be doing?
Evan, can you drop that link in the chat just so I can read it? Because I'm curious about the caveats. Like, I'm curious about the excepts, buts, unless.
My guess is that it's the private part. It's the private ownership part. So if the federal government were to come and buy a facility, let's say in Montgomery County, and use it as an ICE detention, then I'm guessing that the county can't or won't do anything about that. But if it's privately owned and operated, this is where they get to push the papers around and say no.
Yeah.
That's
the caveat. That's it.
Yeah.
So they're only going to stop the private people. They're not going to stop the federally funded and run people. So you could still end up with an ICE facility detention place. Like,
yeah. And as Leah Bogg said, there's an ICE facility expected to come in DC, correct, Evan? Yes, at St. Elizabeth's. So that one is also being planned. And that one is a consolidated headquarters, like with the Department of Homeland Security and the General Service Administration. So, I mean, like, and ICE. So just to be clear, yeah, like this is happening all over. I don't know. I'm curious also, Renee, like in terms of like the ifs, ands, buts, you know. But at the end of the day, I don't think that I mean this is like putting body cameras on cops, right? Like I don't like this, it amounts to that, right? Effectively, right? Nothing is fundamentally being changed, right? This is something that the Democratic governor in Maryland can say, you know, can tout as a success when he eventually runs for president later on. You know what I'm saying? You can say that he fought against this thing when fundamentally, you know, like there are no real differences, you know, fundamentally, right, in terms of like how they actually see this. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems more like show, or again, shout out to Two Black, like he has a quote in the book about how you know, co-optation can be seen as like a front to launder, and how reforms can also be seen as a front to launder Black rage, right? So like this reform, right, can be seen as a front to launder the legitimate rage of all the people who were pissed off about these ICE facilities. So now like, oh, okay, well, there's not going to be a private one, right? But this is exactly like the conversation we had around like private prisons and federal prisons, right? When it made it such like private prisons were the only prisons that were really bad and we had to get rid of, right? Meanwhile, this economic aspect is such a small piece of prisons. Those are not the majority of prisoners, right? Most of them are in federal custody, if I'm not mistaken. And it completely misses the neo-colonial aspect, right, of prisons themselves, right? That Oris Tommy Burton was so good at talking about on Tip of the Spear. So, I mean, that would be my thought.
Evan, I'm sorry. Can you Google something else for me?
For sure, Kim.
I'm so appreciate it. Very helpful. This is awesome.
I love that Kim is so like Evans.
Plural, they, them. Would you mind?
I got you, Auntie Kim. What we looking up now? What we looking up?
The Broadview 6. This was a group of protesters and journalists outside of the Broadview ICE detention facility just out there in Chicagoland, where they sued. And it come to find out that the U.S. prosecutor shockingly had did some shady shit. And shocked. I know y'all shocked, stunned.
Shockingly.
I actually wanted to run. I might hold this. We can look at it, but I might hold this for Camus because I want to get a legal opinion here. But apparently, the U.S. prosecutor representing the administration, when seeking indictments for these activists and journalists, vouched for some evidence to the grand jury that they didn't fucking have, which apparently in lawyering is a no. The lawyers say, you're not supposed to do that. So there's a potential there for sanctions and penalty. Who the fuck knows? But just, just a reminder that in this system of so-called justice, these motherfuckers don't have no problems cheating.
I'm just
never.
I'm like, is it only lawyers who aren't supposed to lie on the job? You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, this is such a basic. Sometimes they do stuff, and I'm just like, sure, why not?
Right.
Why? Like,
I dropped the article in the chat, Evan. No. Finish. Let's finish this, but I just want to make sure that I say it out loud because it's also about these legal fights around ICE. So it's
Okay. This is just the Broadview 6. So I'll read it. Broadview 6 defendants reflect on case doomed by feds. Apparent misconduct. We didn't commit a crime. Free of the charges they faced for 7 months, 3 of the defendants targeted in the high-profile prosecution spoke to the Chicago Sun-Times after the case fell apart and created a credibility crisis for Chicago's top federal prosecutor. Only now is there a credibility crisis? Okay, that's fine. It's new, I guess. I'm trying to let me just get rid of all of this like fluff. They're individuals, but together they're the 4 members of the Broadview 6 who nearly faced trial this spring at the Dirksen Federal Courthouse until the high-profile case against them collapsed amid claims of prosecutorial misconduct. The revelations created a credibility crisis for Chicago U.S. Attorney Andrew Boutros and sent shockwaves across the country.
Shockwaves.
There are former congressional candidate Kate. I'm gonna need some help with that one.
Sound it out.
I wish Agbazula, maybe. Oak Park Village trustee Brian Straw, 45th Ward Democratic Committee person Michael Rabbit, and one-time Agabuzela, I think, aide Andre Martin. Finally free of the charges they faced for 7 months, 3 of them agreed to speak with the Chicago Sun-Times after the case fell apart. They talked about the allegations against them, the legal theories surrounding it, and the price they paid for another troubled prosecution of protesters in Chicago that's sure to find a place in the city's history books. They just put it in the history books and they don't do anything.
They put it in, that's correct.
Just
it goes right in the history books.
Oh, this is crazy. Just put it right there and forget about it.
I mean, so I take a little bit of, hope out of this situation because should any of us find ourselves under federal indictment, just wait 7 months. The case will fall apart. And it will be a stress-free 7 months.
That's hysterical.
7 months. Oh my God. Yeah.
7 months. That's it. We just got to be under federal indictment for 7 months. And we can wait it out. You know what I'm saying? Wait it out.
Stress, man.
But the amount of time, like if people really, really pay attention to how these cases that get splashed across, mainstream media, that look at this thing, and then as time goes by and everything falls apart, no one talks about the falling apart part of it, right? Like
no follow up.
I will give I'll give Jordan from Status Coup credit because he be on this Luigi Mangione case.
Nice.
And they just keep dropping charges like every few weeks, like something else gets dropped. Like now they can't use anything they found in the book bag, right? Like that was the whole case was what they found in the book bag.
Wait, I thought they were able to use book bag. I thought they were able to use some of it, but not all of it. They can't use none of it.
I'm being a smart ass. Like, but even so, like that your case is literally bit by bit falling apart. Right? And this happens consistently. Like the administration came after a bunch of people in New Jersey, and I am literally watching it happen in real life as it's so clear that there's no basis for anything that happened, and it's going to end up being nothing, right? And then I think about, is it Texas, the people that were wearing the black, and so they're Antifa, and so is it Texas? So chat, straighten
the
me
black
out.
people
I can't.
were doing
No,
self-defense.
no. I'm talking about there's a group of people who've been charged under that NSM something 7, and basically the thing, like the big thing was they were wearing black to a protest. And so this is I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh because these poor people are going through it. But like, so supposedly, right, they were found guilty and now they're awaiting sentencing and all this stuff, and I'm just waiting for it to fall apart because this is like there's going to be so it's just, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. We living in some strange times with some strange people. Don't you agree, Doctor?
All day, every day. You know what I mean? It's crazy out here. That's why I stay inside.
You do not stay inside.
You ain't lying. I gotta be outside, man.
No.
Let's
street
get
runner.
it.
You run them streets, son.
Yeah,
Yo, my homeboy's uncle is in his 70s running the streets. Okay.
I mean, how many summers he got left? He's 70s. You gotta get it in, yo. Think I ain't gonna be out. Man, please. I'm gonna be out. Hey, Kim, what do you think about this?
What's up, baby?
Classical breakdown, New Jack Swing.
I have no objections.
Okay. I'll be trying shit.
But I mean, we're basically doing because who else did New Jack Swing production wise besides Teddy Riley? I'm not saying he's the only one, but I'm asking as a legitimate question.
I think they're gonna have to come and find out then. This is going down Thursday, but we do got guests. I have another doctor coming through, so you know how it is when those doctors are on screen.
Is that on today? We have a guest today.
We have a guest today, and right after this break. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so let's.
And my bad, Kim. This was one of the. I was so off kilter that I was like late sending this, and I tried to remember to text you to let you know because I know like emails. Yeah,
you're fine.
All right.
Because I did see an email and I said, "What the fuck is this?" I'm sorry.
Which one was it? Mine or Kim?
No, it was join us on Tuesday. I said, "Who sent me the link in this lengthy?" Anyway, but then Ear Doctor sent the link. Don't fret, not. Don't worry. I'm flexible. I roll with the punches. So whatever we got coming, I'm with it.
Did you get my email, Kim?
Your remix email?
Yeah,
I did, beloved. That's the only reason I'm here.
Oh no, I'm talking about the long one.
The long.
Oh no, I didn't read that.
I figured you didn't. I don't think too many people did. I feel like Renee right now.
See?
Uh-oh.
Yo, anyway, let's go ahead. We got Gus right here.
AI what your email said. What did AI? What did Ear Doctor email say?
That should be reading your email in the whole nine. Like, should we respond like this? I'm like, bitch, you better stop reading my email. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to our guest right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Yeah. Welcome out, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. Show your love, copy some merch, do what you can to support this channel so we can continue to be here and give you that real deal. All right. Real quick, in case you didn't know, we have a bunch of dope shows on BLK Liberation Media. Like I said before, we did get to put on a SADA homegoing, and it went a little something like this. So go ahead and check it out.
There are times you need someone, and I will be by your side. And there is a light that shines, special for you. Everybody up top, come on, New York. Tick it out. Say what? Come on. I will be by your side.
Yeah. So you go ahead and check that out. View it right here on Black Liberation Media. That is Asada's homegoing. That's Common. That's Moo Fresh. And yeah, you seen her here on the remix also. All right, with that said, let's get back to it. Right here on the remix. Let's get it. Yeah. All right.
Is that
So-
salsa? Because that should be slapping.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a little bit of the Latin brothers right there. All right.
Right.
So
Clow agrees.
what'd you say?
I was like, Clow agrees in the chat.
What?
Music too.
Because it should be slapping cloud. I call it spicy go-go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Spicy go-go.
So that was a big revolutionary people going out to that homegoing.
Yeah.
Anyway, caught a
Where
stroke
was
trying
that
to say
held?
that.
Was that in Atlanta or was that in New
I
York?
don't know where that was.
It was in Harlem.
Harlem. Okay.
Church, yeah.
All right,
Wow.
cool.
Beautiful.
All right, well, let's get to it. Let me go clean up, make sure our guess is straight. And when you're speaking to another doctor like myself, make sure you're on point.
Almost indistinguishable.
I already know.
Good morning. Kim, you gonna do it?
Good morning.
You're gonna do the Kim, like, wait, what? I love it. All right, I was teasing you, Kim, because I know you didn't read the email.
I didn't. Welcome, everybody. We have a person joining us.
Another
Welcome. This is Dr. Brian Quoba.
Hey.
Hello.
Dr. Brian
Morning.
Quoba is
Good morning.
the author of the award-winning Hubert Harrison book. Do you want to quickly tell the folks who you are, Dr. Quoba, and what you're doing here?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So good morning, y'all, and thanks so much to Renee for inviting me and for y'all for having me. Yeah, I'm an associate professor of history and also director of African and African American studies at the University of Memphis. And I've been an activist for over 20 years on a whole range of different issues: anti-imperialism, immigrant workers' rights, climate justice, decolonizing education, Palestine solidarity. But I've written this book. That's really why I'm here. I've written this book. It's been a 12-year labor of love. Something that started out as my PhD dissertation and has now come out into the world as a book, as an award-winning book. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here. The book's about Hubert Harrison, who's one of our sort of groundbreaking figures in the Black radical tradition, someone who influenced people like Marcus Garvey and W.E.B. Du Bois and A. Philip Randolph. But Harrison was more radical than them, so he basically got written out of history, and that's why most people never heard of him. And that's also why I wrote this book.
And as someone who has read the book twice now, actually.
Ooh, okay.
I had to go back and do the full read.
Going off.
Hubert Harrison for me is like fascinating. And the first time I saw his name was in Dr. CBS's book. And I remember thinking when I saw your book title, why do I know this name? And it was because he's part of the conversation in Dr. CBS's book. And the idea of the most radical of us being written out of the history in order to ensure that the most radical notions of our history don't get too much focus is always fascinating to me. So I don't think there's really a Cliff Notes version because there's so much information in the book, and y'all for reference of, for the sake of just saying it out loud, you should read the book. The book is very interesting. Like the whole history of Hubert Harrison and the fact that he impacted and influenced so many people who we know about and who are widely discussed in the history, but he is left out it's wild. It's wild, right? It's a wild ride.
him being left out has been effective because I promise you, I've never heard of this brother. So, good brother doctor, could you please tell us who this man is? Where was he born? Where is he from?
Yes.
Like I feel in the dark here. I don't know anything about this.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So to give you a quick version of the story, Harrison was born in the Caribbean island of St. Croix, what is now part of the U.S. Virgin Islands. He moves to New York City as a teenager in the year 1900, right as the 19th and 20th century are shifting. And so he's alive in the Jim Crow era. You know, he's shocked by lynchings, which did not exist on the island of St. Croix. He's shocked by the violent system of Jim Crow and white supremacy. And he starts to question, you know, things that he was taught. He breaks with Christianity and the church. He becomes a free thinker. He joins the Socialist Party, becomes a pioneering Black voice in the Socialist Party. Organizes the Colored Socialist Club in Harlem, for example, which is the first official Black-led party formation of the Socialist Party. And then during World War I, he founds the Liberty League of Negro Americans, which, among other things, will ultimately catalyze the rise of Marcus Garvey and Garveyism, because when Garvey gets to New York, he joins Harrison's Liberty League, and learns a whole number of sort of strategy and tactics that get used to build the UNIA and the Garvey movement into this massive global movement. Harrison was also a free lover. You know, he had a whole critique of compulsory monogamy, part of his broader radical critique of capitalism and imperialism and the state. And so yeah, he's got all these kind of radicalisms in a single frame, and I think that's generative because it forces anyone who studies him to kind of rethink some of the things that we thought we knew. Oftentimes, at least it certainly did that for me. And one example, I'll just give one example to what Renee was saying earlier about the erasure. So there was a new documentary that just came out on Du Bois out of PBS. Some of you might have seen it already. One of the things they don't mention in the documentary is something that Harrison exposed about Du Bois, namely that he was attempting to become a captain in military intelligence during World War I. And thanks to articles written about this by people like Harrison, that ultimately didn't happen. The film does mention the closed ranks editorial where Du Bois says, you know, let us close our ranks and forget our special grievances to get behind the war. But they don't explain why he was writing that editorial, which is that he was literally attempting to get a government job in military intelligence. It's the deep state Du Bois that people don't like to discuss. But as I often say, people like Harrison pushed Du Bois to become more radical subsequently, as he does after World War I, right? Du Bois starts thinking more seriously about communism and Marxism. He writes Black Reconstruction in the 1930s, right, which is a sort of classic Black Marxist history. And so yeah, Harrison, that's one example of a place where he's absent. He's been absent for too long, and it colors and distorts our understanding of some of the politics of this period, the Jim Crow era.
And one of the other things that, you know, that I have learned to fully appreciate about Hubert Harrison is he is really like nah, y'all just wrong. Like here's all the stuff that you're not paying attention to. And you know, there's some real critiques on a number of things that I don't think I would have ever even broke my brain open enough to fully understand. The Harlem Renaissance really being a created, you know, set up by white folks who wanted to allow certain Black people space, which is fascinating when you really think about it. And then, you know, this whole thing between him, Lord, and Marcus Garvey, which that history that is totally lost is fascinating. And then also like this really baseline notion of, you know, when you look at the white left, and I'm going to broadly term it that. I know we don't really have a good definition of the left, and there are all these different things happening when you consider, you know, who these people are. But this whole race versus class argument, and the clear pointing out that the reason white people is so eager and ready often to say it has to be class first is because they've already put their race first. So they don't have to they don't have to have that struggle, because they've already placed their whiteness above everything. So it's very easy for them to say, oh, it has to be class first, because they've already deemed that their whiteness is the more important thing. So there's some fascinating things that I learned in reading this book that, I mean, and Brian so kindly was in Jersey. He did like 3 different talks on the book for me, because I was trying to get the word out. And, you know, it's, it really is. There's a lot to learn, and if you know, and it's a fascinating read. So I highly recommend from me, and I just want to make sure that we don't close out, because I'm sure Evan has questions, and I don't know if Kim has another question, but I want to make sure just to put the pin in that we don't forget to talk about your 2 talks that are coming up, Brian, so we can make sure that folks know where you're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Just on that note, I'm coming to New York. I'm speaking at the People's Forum this Thursday, day after tomorrow, on the book, and that's I think people in New York probably know the People's Forum, West 37th Street. I'm also going to be speaking in Philly on Monday. That's the upcoming Monday, June 8th, at the Free Library of Philadelphia, the Parkway Central Library. And so that's both of those events you can find on my IG page, which is at Dr. Kwoba, dr.kwoba. So yeah, if anybody from New York or Philly are listening, would love to see you at one of these book events this Thursday or next Monday.
I'm sure you'll get some people in the chat. We can already see a lot of appreciation for you and your work in the chat. So I'm sure you'll get some people. I just want to second the thanks to you, Dr. Kwoba, for doing this. I have a question. I'm wondering, I hope it's not too much of a stretch, but like what you're describing now as you detail Hubert Harrison's life, right, reminds me of something we've heard Dhoruba bin Wahad say before, right, about like, you know, like battles having already been won, right, or we're fighting kind of some of the similar battles we fought in the past. And I think it's interesting that you bring this history back into kind of focus for us, right, and like show how Hubert Harrison has been able to like influence all of these other people. And I'm wondering, your perspective, like, what do you think that our Black radical intellectual tradition kind of regains by like reincorporating this history and like maybe having a more complete understanding of the kind of trajectories that Black radical thought has taken?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I've said this before, but it's relevant here again too. I never liked history. You know, and most historians probably don't start, you know, a response with that, but it's true. History was never made interesting or relevant to me when I was coming up in school. I always thought of it as just memorization of names and dates for no clear purpose. Once I became an activist, that's when I started to understand why history matters, because it explains the world that we have. And if you want to change the world that we have, it's important to understand how it got to be the way it is, right? So I wrote the book, in other words, with an eye towards making the history relevant. And sometimes that means telling hidden histories that have been marginalized or swept under the rug because they're so subversive, because you know, they're so threatening to the powers that be and the status quo and what have you. And I think Harrison is a perfect example of that, right? So when you ask, like, what do we regain by engaging with this story? It reminds me of a quote by Malcolm X, where he basically said, if you've never done anything, you'll never do anything. Right? In other words, if you don't know the achievements of your ancestors, then it will limit your horizon of possibility for yourself and for the future. And so one of the things we regain by engaging with Harrison is we begin to understand that there's a much broader spectrum of political possibility in the Jim Crow era than we previously realized, right? I mean, to give one example, I have a whole chapter on what I call Harrison's Black free love politics, because as far as I can tell, Harrison is one of the first Black figures in the history of the United States to denounce church and state repression of sexuality, to call for decriminalizing access to contraception, to give a public-facing lecture series on sex education, and to explicitly defend free love on the grounds that, among other things, we're not monogamists by nature, in Harrison's view, which is to say we are monogamists because of compulsion from the church and from the state and from capitalism and the sexual regime of compulsory monogamy that it has, established and enforces. And so once you realize, and the blues women, if you want an example of another example from the era of people who were sort of thinking in this mode, right? The blues women, Ma Rainey, Bessie Smith, Alberta Hunter, Lucille Bogan, they're giving voice in their lyrics to a certain kind of erotic liberation, right? Talking about women's bodily autonomy and financial autonomy, same gender relations among women, non-monogamous relations, in their lives. And so once you realize that like folks were on that vibe in the Jim Crow era, it raises a question about what are we doing now, right? And can we honestly imagine economic liberation or political liberation without sexual liberation? I think that's a very pertinent question, one that we have generally confined to questions of queerness, right? LGBT equality or queer liberation in a kind of same gender loving type of frame, and not necessarily with any systemic or consistent critique of monogamy and where that comes from and why it's so prevalent and why it feels to many people so unnatural.
So given his politics of free love at the time, I'm sure that went over fantastically with the Black church, and
couldn't have been better.
So my question is, I mean, again, I'm 100% novice, absorbing what you're just describing about him. How was he received in his day? Who lifted up his message and who absolutely shunned it during his time?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, this is one of the factors that I think worked against his memorialization. Just like when we're talking about an Audre Lorde or a Bayard Rustin or somebody, like folks who have non-traditional sexuality tend to be marginalized oftentimes in Black history, right? So that's definitely, I think part of the story when it comes to how he got marginalized. But, Harrison, before he was a free lover, he was a free thinker. And the free thought movement was basically this secular humanist movement, right? Questioning the church, questioning religious dogma more generally, not just Christian dogma. And many of the free lovers, there's a free love movement that goes back to at least to the 19th century in terms of European American radicals. So you have people like Victoria Woodhull, for example, the first, a white women's rights campaigner, suffragette, first woman to run for president in the United States. In other words, there's a radical wing of white women's rights activists in the 1800s that are saying, yeah, patriarchy makes women into property, and that's why we're free lovers. This is basically a forgotten or forbidden wing of the white women's movement, right? And so when we're taking that into a Black frame, obviously, as you said, the church was very hostile to what they call the sexual libertines, right? They saw it as immoral and ungodly that people would dare to imagine not confining their sexual or romantic lives to just one person. And so there's a lot of respectability politics that are being challenged in this frame. Even the Harlem Renaissance frame, which I have a whole chapter of critique about, part of what's going on there is they're lifting up artists that can be sort of marketed to white audiences, right? And sort of a certain kind of patriotic and respectable aesthetic. And which is why the blues women, for example, are generally, or at least initially, were not included in the so-called Renaissance or discussions of any kind of cultural and social awakening in Harlem. even though, of course, blues music and jazz and the way people were living in practice in a very flexible and fluid and dynamic way without the rigid identities that we have today in terms of L and G and B and T. That all had to be erased essentially to make a more palatable version of Harlem's story, or at least one that was profitable when marketed to white audiences. And so, there's, again, the interplay of the radicalism and the erasure are very present in the story of Hubert Harrison. And part of why we have to reclaim him is because he wasn't received so well in his own time, not just by the church, but by the government. He was denouncing the Comstock laws, which had criminalized all manner of things sexually. He was an anti-imperialist, right? He was somebody who was calling for an international, federation of colonized peoples to fight capitalist imperialism. There's all these things he was doing that rubbed powerful folks and even some oppositional folks the wrong way. And so, those institutions and individuals did not always receive him in the best way, but he was beloved by the people of Harlem. He used to speak on street corners to audiences large enough to block traffic, and on a whole range of subjects, right? Everything from ancient African history to science and global geopolitics and arts and culture. After Harrison died, the Harlem Community Church of Reverend Ethelred Brown, they renamed it the Hubert Harrison Memorial Church in order to try to preserve his legacy. And it speaks to the spiritual power that he carried as he walked the streets of Harlem, even though he was a vociferous agnostic and critic of Christian dogma.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Really is. Brian, if you don't mind, just because I'm in a car and so it's going to take me a minute to find them, if you could possibly shoot me the links for folks for your 2 events that are upcoming, you can either drop them in the private chat, or if it's faster and easier, you can send them over the email, and we'll just make sure we add those to the show notes and we drop them in the chat before we close out.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Because it's just, and so people understand, like, when you go to see Dr. Quoba speak, it is a whole experience that you're gonna get, right? Like,
Yes,
it is not like he's not just gonna sit and like talk at you about the book. You're gonna get a very like awakening. It really, I've really enjoyed participating in your talks, and I'm gonna see if I can get out to the People's Forum. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'm gonna try, because it's been a minute since I dragged you up to Jersey. So
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
but I really encourage it, folks. If you can get out to either of these, I really encourage it. And yes, Old Grease, I do have the link to the book, pretty easy to find, so I'll make sure that I send that out.
Yeah, and just on that note, part of what Renee is referring to, for those who don't know, is that I start my events with not only a land acknowledgement, but also an ancestral invocation, because I see this work as, among other things, a work of ancestral reclamation, right? And so there's a need for us to, I think, to sit with that. And I like to create a space and hold some space to call in a number of ancestors, not just Hubert Harrison, but a number of others, especially in the Black radical tradition, because when we connect with our ancestors in that way, it becomes, it adds more depth, right, and more power to what we're saying and doing in the present, because we are fortified and affirmed and encouraged by that energy.
Absolutely. Something else that is occurring to me, Dr. Quoba, is just in your retelling of like how wildly popular Harrison was, right? Like these street corner, right? Or his influence in people who we are really familiar with, like Garvey or like Du Bois. It just reminds me of like the deeply political nature of history, right? Which we, of course, we know that, right? But the fact that somebody who is so wildly popular can just be erased in that way is, a good reminder of the type of work that you're doing and why we need radical scholars like yourself to kind of dig into this history.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you know, again, I think part of the point of connecting with an ancestor like this is once you realize that there was an expanded scope of possibility for political radicalism in the Jim Crow era, it sort of invites and encourages us to expand our scope of political possibility now, right? Because if there was a figure like Harrison who was able to combine many radicalisms in a single frame, right? Being class radical as a socialist, being, you know, a Black internationalist, Black liberation, Pan-Africanist, being a free thinker, being a free lover, all these things in one frame. It's like, oh, that's a model, that's an example, that's a template of maybe some of the work we need to do now, right? Because right now you find people who can be very radical in one area and then kind of backward or have a blind spot in another, right? Renee mentions the white left, for example. They can be very radical about class and class struggle, class consciousness. When it comes to race, they can often be a lot less radical, right? Just as one example, right? And we all have our blind spots and our weaknesses, which again comes back to Harrison, because when you study Harrison, you walk with Harrison, you learn about his sort of multi-dimensional range. You can't help but expand your own range, right? And think a little bit more radically in some of the other areas that you may not have considered before, from a more radical perspective.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I just put the links in the private chat to my events.
And I think I don't want to do it at the same. I don't know. The Philly one is in the chat now. Dr. Quoba's link to his Instagram is also in the chat. If you give me 2 seconds, we will add the June 4th event in New York City.
For some reason, I can't join the main chat. I don't know why.
Oh, it's quirky on the back end. I always have to like be on YouTube on like a different tab.
Oh
It's squirrely. It's not you.
Okay.
But is there anything that you want to make sure that you say while we have you? You know, just if there's anything in closing or any, you know, like here, anything just to close out.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll say that the thing that's bringing me to New York this weekend, apart from book events in New York on Thursday and in Philly on Monday, is that I'm receiving the 2026 Frantz Fanon Outstanding Book Award from the Caribbean Philosophical Association.
Oh, shout out to you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a massive honor, obviously, especially because I'm not technically a philosopher. I'm a historian. So to be recognized outside of my quote unquote discipline, I think speaks to the interdisciplinary nature of the book and of the work. I'm also on this Saturday, the very same day, receiving the 2026 Phyllis Wheatley Book Award from the Sons and Daughters of the U.S. Middle Passage. So yeah, I don't know how that ended up working out, but the two awards that I've won are being bestowed on the same day. So, so that's really exciting and you know, quite humbling and gratifying, you know, to be recognized for my work in this way. So so yeah, I hope to see folks in New York and Philly this coming weekend and Monday. And I'm on a book tour in general, so wherever you are, you know, chances are that I'm going to be coming soon to a theater near you. I hope to get to California, for example, in the fall. I'll be in Miami. I'll be in Chicago as well in the fall, and Virginia. So yeah, anyway, there's a lot of upcoming events. So if folks follow me on Instagram, they can keep updated with my book tour.
Word up.
Thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to get you on real quick, and I hope folks get out to see you, and congratulations on the awards.
Thank you.
Well deserving, and looking forward to catching up soon.
Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you to the whole Remix Morning Show team. Keep up the great work. This is a really beautiful program, beautiful space, and very necessary and important conversations.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
How often do you get two doctors with African study degrees on the same screen at the same time? You know what I mean?
Honestly, ear doctor, like I said, communicating with you, communicate with Dr. Koba, almost indistinguishable.
It's almost.
I mean,
listen.
images,
Wait till Nakapanda's book come out. It's an audio mixtape version.
Let's go.
Yeah, boy.
No.
It's very, very true about history, man. It definitely, when I started learning history after I got to college, where we started learning about our own history, I was like, yo, this is all right. Because like you said, history was whack. All you learning about this colonizers colonizing serfs and slaves and this, that, and the third. I was like, I don't want to be depressed reading this shit. So once I started learning about our history, I was like, well, still depressed, but still I see some leeway, some things that happen about different Queen Nzinga fighting the Portuguese for 40 years. Just different warriors making things happen and the struggles we've been through to get to where we at. And it gives you something, the fuel to keep going. All right. I said my rant.
I appreciate the good doctor, the other good doctor, of course, not the one right now, the other good doctor joining us, because I got a comment under a video recently, and it was somebody saying something about ADOS, and I'm like, it just was a reminder, and I appreciate the doctor joining us and sharing that knowledge. These ADOS niggas are the worst, goofiest niggas on the planet. Do you understand how many Africans from the Caribbean help to further the freedom struggle for Black people in America? And these niggas talk about American descendants and slaves. Shut the fuck up. You know what the Caribbeans have done for us, have given to us, have contributed literally to us in this.
We ain't even talking hip hop, are we, Kim?
Not even. But
you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. The ADOS are our enemies, okay? Like I can't even look at them as brothers and sisters that we need to reach out to and help to. No, they're against us. If you are against Caribbean people being free, African people being free, Afro-Latino people being free, and you only want African American descendants, it's like, shut up. Go be with the whites. Go live in Idaho on the commune so they can put your ass in the goddamn plantation field. Like, I don't understand this cleaving unto American whiteness. It's weird coming from Black people and then they denigrate Black folks that live other places or come from other. It's just strange. I'm like, who are you niggas?
We sick, boss.
We sick, boss.
Big up to brother Jamil sending in $4.99. Congrats to Jared's daughter Marley on her high school graduation. Sky's the limit. Big up to Marley. All right. Hey. Big up to Old Grease sending in $20 saying dude has bars. Talk about the good doctor.
Yes.
Which one?
the other good doctor.
Oh,
I'm sure.
Maybe your doctor's a bad doctor.
Oh, wow. The disrespect coming off the screen. I tell you. All right. We got some more news. Y'all need no break, do y'all?
Always.
Got things to talk about.
Good. Get to it.
Congratulations again to the class of 2026. Big things.
Yeah. Shout out to all the revolutionaries, coming into the world. I'm sorry about the adulting. It's going to be rough out here. That's all. It's
so garbage.
Salaries are low. Like, I'm sorry, but we gotta.
Do you see my hashtag today? Life be lifing.
Only cool adult thing I get to do is smoke weed in my house. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, every other aspect of adulting is garbage. It is trash. It is basura. I get to smoke weed anywhere in my house. That's the best part about being an adult. That's it.
I was thinking, what is there to look up to as a young adult now? Okay, you can go, you know what I'm saying? You can go to college and you can possibly, put yourself in debt. You can go to trade school, feel like you're going back to the plantation. You can try to be an entertainer. You can try to be a podcaster. I don't see what's the brightness of, what are they looking at? Like, ooh.
Is this how you encourage your children?
It's wars going on. You got to deal with AI. I mean, it's a lot right now. Like, on
I
another
would
level.
encourage the kids, go live your life. Go do what you want to do. What does that look like? I know you need money and resources to do things. I get that, but we'll figure that out. But what do you want to do? Not what has society indoctrinated you to believe that you're supposed to do. Like, what speaks to your heart? Just think about if someone hadn't have stolen your dream when you were in second grade, whatever that dream was, you wanted to be a veterinarian, you wanted to be a psychologist, you wanted to be an astronaut, like somehow that dream got taken from you. I feel like if we actually stuck to the desires of our childish heart, to be honest, I feel like we would be much better off before society came in and tried to mold you and shape you into this capitalist drone to be a worker and go out there. You know what I mean? So I would tell the kid, I got told anyway, anybody who lets their kid around me, not many do, but when I oh, you just got out of high school, don't go right to college. Take your year off. Go just live, be, exist.
They say that's the problem though. That a
No.
bunch of kids are just dreamers. They don't want to do no work and they want to be entertainers. They want to do podcasts. They want to stay at home, make money, and they don't want to.
But what's the difference between that and the kids singing on the corner doo-wop in the 50s and 60s, right? It's the same kind of dream. It just looks different.
Yeah, well, the rent is higher now.
For sure.
That was back when rent was like $150 a month. Shit. But yeah, all right.
That's real.
Story time.
I'd be discouraging the children to get out and work sometimes because it's like you're gonna be working your whole
for real
life.
Your whole life. Some people like us are blessed to live and do what we love doing and getting paid for it. What?
Maybe the first part.
What? I love the fact that I get to play DJ and make a living and do podcasts.
Oh, you're talking about DJ? Okay, yeah. Sure. For yourself.
I'm an entertainer. I wanted to be one when I was young, and I'm doing it now. So
you are.
It was hard as hell. Some people follow your dreams, but some of y'all need to get a job.
That's why parenthood is a fucking scam. Oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. They got parents over a barrel. You have to feed the child, okay? Like you can be hungry. You yourself personally, yeah, you can be hungry. No, the baby has to eat.
I'm gonna defer to the expertise on the screen.
Tell them, Renee, parenthood scam. It's a scam, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure your kid is wonderful and fine. The caring of the child, like the sustaining of the child, scam.
Yeah, all this capitalism stuff is a scam. Somebody in the chat was asking about monogamy, and there's a lot of talk in the chat. And you know, when you think about all the capitalist ventures that go along with weddings and being in a monogamous relationship, and listen, I love my husband. We've been together almost 20 years. This is not me saying I have an issue with picking someone and being with that person.
Everybody has arrangements, but no judgment, no judgment.
But there is a vast amount of money that is made off of selling people monogamy, right? Mm-hmm. And so perhaps if being in a monogamous relationship did not come along with tens of thousands of dollars for weddings and thousands of dollars for diamond rings that are, built with the blood of things, you know what I mean? Like there's all this, this is all, there's so much that gets wrapped up in it. And then people talk to you about, people talk all the time about having children, but very few people talk about how hard it is to be a parent. Right. And how painful it is to see your child struggle with just things, right? Because you can't do all the things for your child in order to make their life as easy as you would want their life to be. It's just not possible. And then there's all the outside factors. And in the end, like you have a kid and you can only do what you can do to try your best to make sure that person who is now living outside of you can survive. and it's so out of your control. Like, it's literally totally out of your control. I can drop my child off at school and anything could happen and I would not have him anymore, right? And so it is a wild walk through life to understand how truly uncontrollable things are. And it's one thing for something to be uncontrollable and for me to be impacted by it. It's a whole other thing for things to be uncontrollable and the one person that you want the most to be okay, you can't control whether or not that happens, right? It's something, but I look at my kid sometime and it's like my heart just like walking around like outside, like roaming and like doing things. Like he's just my heartbeat, like roaming.
So let's look at the pros and cons of monogamy and what is it, polygamy? Is that what we're talking about? So a pro is the fact that you're building a small community and you have more help raising kids probably, than you would just doing it with two people. Right? The sister gets a little help doing what is the no? We doing pros and cons here, Kim. Like, do you have a con or a pro?
I'm not following. What's on what side of what column?
This is a pro. I feel like this is a pro that you got to.
What?
No. Like, what's being compared?
Of monogamy and polygamy.
So, being in a sexual relationship with one person.
You said sexual. You said, see, that's where people go as soon as you say polygamy. I'm talking about having a community of raising kids instead of just two people. Like,
why don't you live with your mom and raise the kids? Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about relationship, intimate partner relationships, right? When we talk about monogamy and polygamy.
We're talking about pros and cons. You want to attack what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
So give me a con or a pro.
Of what?
Do you get what I'm saying, Evan? Do you have a con or a pro to this?
I understand what you're trying to ask. I think the issue is in like the premise, because I think it's a little bit misleading. Like, I don't know that it's just monogamy and polyamory, right? And even polyamory, like, how does that look? What are we talking about, right? Are we talking about one man having multiple wives? Are we talking about one woman having multiple husbands, right? Are we talking about something, different? I've read about other I've read about like indigenous cultures where, like there's free partnership, right? And you live in a community, and when a woman has a baby, that's everyone's baby, right? We're all taking care of that kid, right? So one, I would just say, like, it feels like a false dichotomy as you're presenting it. I wouldn't describe it that way. I think there's probably a much larger range. And I think what's really important, what I took from what Dr. Quoba was saying, right, was that it's important to understand the way capitalism has perverted all of these, kind of human interactions and convinced us that certain things are quote unquote natural, right? Or even, desirable, when it's really just about how can capitalists best isolate us and profit off of us in our lives and our relationships. So I think that is how I would approach your prompt. Here, doctor. The other doctor.
Oh, okay. Pro, con, Renee, when it comes to it.
I'm staying on mute. I think Evan just did a beautiful job of explaining why this setup is a setup, and so I'm not participating. Thank you, though.
Wow. Oh yeah.
You do this. See, and I appreciate Renee having no patience with it, because I entertain it and then I end up leaving the stream. Why am I so frustrated?
Right, so here you go. You got different people talking about the pros and cons. You got people talking about, all right, it's less cheating because you already got, I know that's one of the
about cheating
pros.
We are under attack. Who cares if somebody steps out? We have bigger fish to fry. Okay.
When you go to Atlanta, it's 10 women to one guy, so therefore it's like, all right, we can help populate the earth. That's another.
Man, you look at the niggas worried about cheating. Look at them herpes and HIV rates and talk to me about cheating. Okay, everybody.
So you wouldn't have to cheat if you had multiple wives.
No one has to cheat. Everybody just needs to have grown-up understandings of what is expected and what is not expected, and what is acceptable.
And I think the backbone of it all is we don't understand relationships. We don't understand how to have relationships with each other. So that's a big part right there. I don't even know if we know how to have relationships with others. That's why these monogamous relationships don't work. What is the other fucking word?
Sound it out.
Polygamy. Polygamous.
Yeah, what the
fuck is it?
Close enough. Close enough. I just think we focus too much on relationships. I'm always dismayed, and I can't even point the finger at the younger. Y'all talk about relationships. That's all. That was the whole premise of Living Single as a sitcom, right? Like everybody talked about, relationships and finding a partner, finding the spouse or whatever. I don't know, maybe because those things don't interest me. I don't find them interesting when I hear them, but I just hear them discussed so much, and it's like, y'all. The least of our problems right now is, are you going to find a husband by 35? Like, I promise you. Like, if you don't, things will be okay. I can guarantee it. Don't you worry. Life will turn out just fine.
All right. We got about 10 something minutes. We got another story.
I think we can find something else to talk about. I'm sure. Anything else, really.
Oh, man. Y'all, I'll be scared of the tough questions.
I answered your question. Ear doctor. Get out of here, man. What did I want to say? Oh, I want to make a point about these ADOS silly people.
We got some in there joining us. I hope so. Y'all need to hear all this. Whatever Evan's about to say, you ADOS niggas need to hear it.
No, man. I think it's one. I appreciate it again what Dr. Kobo was bringing up about just like the history of Hubert Harrison, where he came from, all the impacts that he had on many of the other people that people lift up, right? As this African American pantheon, right? Like these people have, histories that are much far beyond that, but also this like distinct African American experience is separate from everything else, and there's nothing like there's no comparisons that can be made in no relationships. It's just like so blatantly ahistorical, and I think when I come across histories that make that clear, it always fascinates me, one, and then kind of blows me away. And I know this is at least the second time, so maybe I'll stop after this, but there's a quote from Laundering Black Rage that just perfectly encapsulates this for me. I'm gonna just share it again because I know I've shared it before, but maybe somebody didn't hear it last time. So this is the quote. No single act by enslaved Africans ignited the spread of Black rage across the colonial world while simultaneously causing mass pandemonium among the colonists than the Haitian Revolution. Governor Charles Pinckney of South Carolina remarked how Haiti would spark a, quote, flame which will extend to all the neighboring islands and may eventually prove not a very pleasing or agreeable example to the southern states, end quote. George Washington wired large sums of colonial funds to the French to help them with the, quote, alarming insurrection of the Negroes in Hispaniola, end quote. Some accounts of Vesey's rebellion even say he was working with former French slaves from Haiti when Nat Turner's rebellion drew blood in 1831. Not only did some whites place the blood on Haiti's hands, but also they rounded up innocent slaves and free blacks to execute for this calculated act of Black rage. This is just one quote, one example. Do you know what I mean? And like completely debunks all that stuff. This stuff about unrelated revolutions, right? Or no one was trying to help us, or no one understands our struggle, and no one's trying to be on our side, right? Or our revolution or our revolutionary struggle is not informed by anything else. It's just nonsense, right? And it ends up, really, when it comes down to it, like tactically, all that's left for those people is just like partnering up with these white people. The worst white people, honestly. Like not even the white leftists that you need to struggle with. Like, no. Like their analysis puts them clear on the other side. You know what I mean? And it's nuts, man. It's nuts. And I appreciate Dr. Kova's work for constantly, for being another reminder of that connection.
Should we dismiss ADOS or should we try to convert them? Should we just leave them alone?
I think it's like with any reactionary tendency amongst our people, like we have to struggle with it. And inevitably, there's going to be some people that are not going to come with us. There are going to be some former Black military, right? Or, like former cops maybe, right? Or like they cannot be convinced, right? That like are not able to kind of, you know, understand their struggle alongside ours. But I believe, well, I would not be doing organizing work if you have to believe in people to do organizing work, I think, right? Like you have to, on some level, you have some revolutionary optimism and you believe that if I engage with people, right, eventually like there will be a way to kind of to make those connections and help people understand and connect it to their material conditions, right? I think most people are going to be, most people have a intimate understanding of their material conditions, of what they can afford, what they can't afford, you know, what kind of pressures are put upon them, right? So like it is about connecting that experience that they do understand to maybe something that they don't, or history that they don't. But I think most of our people, you know, will come with us, right? Like that's what I believe, right? Like I think most of our people will come with us. Of course, they're going to be traders and sellouts, like as there always have been, you know, various bootlickers of various shades and colors. Those people have always existed. But broadly speaking, like I feel like, you know, if you put these things in front of people and help them understand and make it connect to what they are experiencing materially, I think you can bring along most of our people.
But ain't that what Christians do to everybody? Like try to convert people to what they believe in? Is it a waste of time? Are you trying to go convert a Muslim to be Christian? Or are you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Is it a waste of time? So you just continue doing what you're doing?
Evan, don't.
What? That is a legitimate. That is a legitimate comparison right
there.
Evan. It's fine and legitimate.
Evan, don't.
That is a legitimate comparison when you're talking about trying. He just said, Kim was like, "Should we convert?" Which is also using religion. So we convert people into what you believe. That's what it is, right? Because the thing is, it's a lot of people that don't believe the same thing you don't believe. And then you can just be like, well, you know what? I ain't fucking with them. So how do you ever unite? Just because you don't believe in the same thing, you can't work together. And that's a struggle that Evan's saying. It's like you got to have some type of belief that, you know, people still got something in them to make them be like, you know what? It keeps you going. But, you know.
I don't know if that's what I said, but I do appreciate, Ear Doctor, you trying to make these connections always. I would say that, you know, maybe because we're talking about material conditions, I'm just not including religion in here as like I think it's kind of apples and oranges, right? Like, so when I'm talking about convincing people of their material conditions, I'm talking about using dialectical and historical materialism to talk about like what is actually scientifically understandable and you know, perceptible, right? As like a real thing, right? And I'm saying that this analysis, right, the analysis that we're bringing to our people will help them understand materially what's going on in their world and in their life. I have no no argument around, you know, religious conversion, right? Or yeah, I'm not talking about that at all. So I would just
you're missing the point here. I think what, like Leah Box said, I think the question is related to what Kim asked about ADOS. Should they be ignored?
No. If that's the answer, if that's the question that you're asking, Ear Doctor, then the answer is no. No, they shouldn't be ignored. We should not like give up any space of organizing. We shouldn't, you know, cede any ground. We should struggle with these people, you know. And of course, there are limitations and decisions to be made. I'm not saying if somebody is a danger to themselves or others. Rather, I'm not saying if somebody is danger to the others or the community that we should continue to like have them. Like, I'm not saying that, but in terms of people having reactionary ideas, which our people do, all of us do in some way, shape, or form, those have to be struggled against. So I don't think that those people should be ignored or abandoned. No.
We sick boss is how ADOS strikes me. Then what my Ear Doctor brother just said.
Yeah. So
they the we sick boss. We sick boss.
Like would Harriet tell me not to pull the shotty on them, or she would have just kept going?
First of all, them niggas wasn't even trying to leave the plantation. Leave all this for what?
The thing is, like, the comparison doesn't work, right? Because you have to take into account the dialectical relationship. Because Harriet was so successful in having in freeing our people, there was a dialectical relationship, right, of how the empire like shifted and changed, right, to expand our oppression and to morph it so that they could continue to make money off of us, continue to like, you know, extract surplus value, right, while we think of ourselves now as American citizens. right? So it actually isn't apples. It is, again, apples to oranges, right? Because now we have to account for the massive amounts of political and social and psychological propaganda that our people face. Hollywood and TVs and movies, all this other stuff. Yes, that existed back there too, but it looked very different, and it was not, I'm not a scholar in that way, so I'm not going to do that. But what I'm saying is, like, we experience we're in a different time and a different place right now. So I think we have to, like, acknowledge, like, the game has advanced, so to speak, right? And we need to be, our people are highly propagandized, right? Like, and many of them do think, like Kim's saying, like, we sick boss, right? But, like, that is honestly just a different struggle, and the level of repression is incredibly different. Like, we are colonized internally for sure, but we are not on plantations, and that is a different level of repression and, like, oppression that, like, you experience that's going to, like, heighten certain contradictions. So
I look at it like this: do you and others gonna follow that's still in the clouds trying to figure out what's what? You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about trying to convert nobody else into doing what you're doing. Just keep doing you, and then people that's being like, you know what, that makes sense. I'll go over here and start listening. That's it. What you got, A-Rob?
So Ashley said this, and I am full on board with this statement. I've accepted that even though there are certain unavoidable parts of the work, including talking to ADOS FBA people, I accept that certain things ain't the work I am interested in doing. Facts. Sorry, Kim, go ahead.
No, I agree. I unite with that statement, A-Rob, because I'm sorry. Like, if you're siding in some way with the whites, in my opinion, that's what ADOS does, then you're my enemy, right? If there are men and women and non-binary people out here upholding the patriarchy, you're my fucking enemy, right? Like, if you're not acknowledging or willing to fight against what is oppressing all of us just because you think that you can sidle up to the oppressor and work out a better deal for yourself, go fuck yourself. Like, you not my friend, you're not my enemy, you are my enemy, you're not my ally. Like, they can't trust them because they've already established what side of the barricades they're on, so to speak, and they are down for that American flag. They can't be down with us.
On that note, all right, I'll let Renee go first so Evan can pull up all his this is what's going on. Renee, what you got?
Church announcements.
Renee, you got anything coming up this Saturday you know of yet?
Yes, actually. So we are being joined on Saturday by Gabriel Rockhill and Ntume Gant, and we're going to talk about the Marxists, the Western Marxists who paid them. And I'm very excited because there's a whole conversation about culture and propaganda and Marxism that I think is not being held nearly as much as it needs to be held. I'm currently reading the book, which is fascinating. And so I'm really actually looking forward to that conversation. And yes, Lateef, we will be live on Saturday.
All right, dope. Evan, what we got coming up out in these streets?
I got nothing this week.
Live.
Yeah, surprise, nothing this week. Just tune in. I'll have ASSPE will be next week, so I'll have an announcement for that. But yeah, just stay tuned to our socials, BAT, DC, PACA, and you'll see everything that comes up.
All right, and I believe me and Kim Brown will be here Thursday, giving you some New Jack Swing, going through some of the best classical hits from the New Jack Swing era.
It's going to be a lot of Aaron Hall singing, and I don't have an issue
Bobby
with
Brown, everybody.
Oh, that's right, per se, but Aaron Hall,
it's a heavy D. We got a bunch of New Jack joints, so come and check that out this Thursday.
It's kind of like a micro era, isn't it? I mean, would
80s to the 90s.
But 80, let's say 88, 87, 88 till
Rump Shaker.
91, 2.
Yeah. Rump Shaker was 90s.
Ready with the 1-2 checker. Rex and the Fex.
Y'all gonna have to come. You're gonna see all this by Kim Brown, so you don't want to miss
Booties on the cutie, steady shaking, but relaxing.
Yeah, all that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up here, and we will be back here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I believe we got some more right here at 10, so stick around. I believe Dr. Jared Ball has a show coming on at 10, so stick around for that, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on Women's Wednesday. So with that said, we out. I'm the Air Doctor. That's Kim Brown. That's Evan. And that's Renee Johnston. Peace out, my people. Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.